Okay, this video describes the new features that have been introduced into BVEssentials 5.6. First one, in sales orders, we create a new sales order. We have some new fields on the order. So we've got here, if we first pick a customer, we've got an area called contact, or you can call it ordered by, or this is the information of the person that's placing the order. So what we can do is we look up, and what we get is a list of all of this customer's contacts. That includes all ship tos and all bill to information. So even if this ship to has not been selected for this order, all those addresses are showing up here. So if I pick somebody off this list, then it populates the order with all this information. And then when we email this invoice or print it, you can pick the email button, and that contact, the ordered by section, has been included in the available contacts. So we show contact 1, 2, and 3 from the order for the billing and the shipping, but we also show that ordered by information there. Okay, the second feature again comes under sales orders. Under the info tab here, we have 3 new fields here: a shipping carrier, a ship date, and a tracking number. This is not to replace the ship via. This is used for different purposes, for instance, for web orders or something like that, that this information can be keyed into. All right. The next one is when you open up an order for a customer or create an order for a customer, say for instance this one here, we have this tab called sales orders. That turns red if there are orders for this customer other than the one we're working on. So if you click on it, you see all other open orders for this customer, all types, so open, standing, sales, closed, whichever type of orders are here. So not history, the sales history still resides here, but this is any order that's not yet been processed. So if you're doing an order and this turns red and you don't expect another order for this customer, you can check to make sure somebody hasn't already created this order for them. But you can also double click on that order and then navigate through each of these orders to see what they are, what's on those orders as well. Okay, the next one is our new email engine. So again, if we create a new order and we put a customer on the order, and we'll pick a contact or ordered by in this case, throw an item on here. All right, so now what we have is when we press the print button or invoice or wherever, every time there's a print invoked, we have new buttons at the bottom. So we've got print and email like we had before. We've got print and email. So what this will do, we'll print a copy for yourself and email it out to the customer. But if I select email here and I select the person I'm emailing this to, I can now either create a new template or use an existing template. So if I choose a quote, for instance here, then what it does is it puts the bill to name, the contact, whatever text we put in, along with this variable here called order number, and then signed off by the logged in username. And those parameters are inserted by just selecting off this list here. And if I preview this, it shows here, attaches our quote number such and such. Let me know if there's anything I've missed. And it also puts it on the subject because in the template, it's been called quote parameter order number. And when I send this email out, it'll just merge that out to it. Another one along the email lines is that if I highlight a whole bunch of orders to email and I print that and I choose, say, the quote again, and I go email and I choose contact 3 and I pick a template. If it turns red like this, it means the parameter name is incorrect and was not used. And if I press send mail, it shows all the orders where contact 3 could not be found. So in this case, it's many of them, but if I go ahead and hit send emails, it will only email the ones out that have an email address. But if I hit print and send, it will email the ones that have an email address and then print the ones that did not have an email address. So if you don't put an email address in your contact 3 for somebody, which may be your accounts payable department for that customer, then those are the ones you know need to be printed. Okay, the next one is again inside of a sales order. We have a new field called weight. So if the inventory item, let's look at, say for instance, CD204, and I'll just edit this. And I don't know if I have weight on it. Here's the weight here, so let's put 12 pounds on it, save it, and then we'll select it onto our order. What that will do now is it puts the weight. We have a new field for the line weight on the order. So there's the weight there, and down here is the total weight. So if I put 2 CD204s on here, it changed 24 pounds down here and the weight up here. Now these fields are editable. If you change it to something different, like 3 pounds, it will calculate the total weight at the bottom as well. So those can be, it's editable so that if you don't have the weight on certain items or you want to modify it, you can do so. And of course, all that can be printed on the orders as well. Okay, the next one is that you can now, in a company setup, if I go to sales orders, I can use serialized lot selling. So in other words, you can set a selling price to each serial number or each lot number. We've always had the use serial lot costing setting where it will put the sales history cost, or it'll put the cost into sales history for what you've set it for. But now you've also got lot selling. So if I go into, when I receive my lot numbers, I can set the selling price or my serial numbers, but I can also edit that. So if I go to this item here, and I go to the lot numbers, there's a lot number selling price here on that one. I can change the sell price of this lot number to 222 and save it. And now when I sell that particular lot number, or if it was in the serialized dialog, it will change the sell price of that particular one. So for serial numbers, if you sell an item like a computer, it could have several different sell prices based on what equipment is inside the computer. Okay, now on our standing orders, so we create a new standing order. So we go new and standing order. We now have a repeat cycle. So again, I'll pick a customer. Over here is the order is standing, so it's going to be repeated over and over, just like we did before. But now we can tell it when we would like this order to repeat. So we can pick daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, or custom. And custom means that I can pick a frequency and have it happen every 3 days. Or if I pick, and I can tell it to end after so many times or end after a certain date. If I pick weekly custom, I can say Sundays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and then again set the ending cycle. If I choose monthly, I can pick whatever days of the month that I want to repeat, or have it happen on the first Tuesday of every month, and again an ending time. If I pick yearly, I can have it happen on January, April, and on November, and again set an ending time. Once I've set it, so if I choose monthly, and I pick my invoice date on here, and I sell an item, and then I invoice it on account, and I won't print it. Okay, then I can go back to my standing order afterwards, and I will see that the date has been pushed forward 1 month in this case, or if I would have chosen a different repeat cycle, it would have been pushed forward by that amount. Then if I go back to the list, and I maybe want to sort this by invoice date, and then filter out everything except for standing orders, then I see all the ones that are due for the next cycle, if it's today or around today. And then we've also got this new button on top that you can actually invoice right from the sales order list. And if I click that, it'll just move the standing orders again ahead by its next cycle. And the next feature we have in requisitions, we now have a button that says to hide the processed order. So if we've already created a purchase order for these, if I click hide processed, it shortens the list down just to the items I have not yet ordered. And that's it. Thank you for watching, and hope you enjoy the new features.